Hi everyone, thank you so much for stopping by my channel and hanging out with me for another video. So in my last video, I shared with you all of my organized kitchen tour. I took you through all of the cupboards, all the cabinets, all the drawers, and showed you exactly how I organize my kitchen. Then at the end, I started to touch on how I keep my kitchen clean. The video got too long, so I had to cut most of it out. So in today's video, I'm going to be sharing with you my top habits, hacks, tips, and tricks on how to keep your kitchen clean. And I mean like always clean. So let's start at the very beginning. Now, I think this might be a bit controversial for some people, but I like to start my day obviously with a clean kitchen. I've said that many times before, but I like to start my day with a clean kitchen but a dirty dishwasher. And what I mean by that is that when I wake up in the morning and I come down here, it's usually before the kids wake up, I come down here, all I want to do is just make a coffee and then just go and chill out for 5-10 minutes for that caffeine to kick in and for me to wake up. I don't want to have to come down first thing in the morning and be faced with a chore or a job. And to be honest, it would be one of my least favorite jobs to empty the dishwasher because I just don't like it. I don't want to start my day like that. I also don't want to have to start my day with a job which, if I don't do it, it is just going to lead to more mess throughout the morning. If you start off with a clean full dishwasher, you have to empty it before you start making your breakfast and all that kind of stuff and the kids start piling into the kitchen making mess. If you have a clean dishwasher and you don't empty it, you're going to end up with a pile of dishes in the sink that just pile up. Before you know it, you've got a mess in your kitchen. You're not going to recover from it for the rest of the day, so you may as well write off the whole day. Now, I'm telling you, there's nothing probably that will help you more than either starting off the day with an empty or at the very least dirty dishwasher. So the way that you need to implement this is to figure out what works for you with regards to your dishwasher cycle and get that cycle in sync with your household requirements. So for us, with regards to dishes, we make the most mess in the evening time at dinner. So we've got usually a pot, a pan, or a casserole dish or something like that, cooking utensils, and then there's obviously plates, crockery, cutlery, glassware, all that kind of stuff to eat dinner with. So we make quite a lot of dish mess in the evenings. So I like to make sure that the dishwasher is completely empty so that it can take all of the dinner dishes, but then there'll be still room enough for a few breakfast dishes in the morning. Now, obviously, if you've got a really big family, you might need to run the dishwasher after you've packed it up with all the dishes from dinner and then empty it out to make sure that you've got an empty dishwasher in the morning. But I guarantee you, starting the day with either an empty dishwasher or a dirty dishwasher that's got enough room for the breakfast dishes, it is definitely going to set you up for success when it comes to keeping your kitchen clean and organized. Another tip that I've got for you is to control the clutter that comes into your kitchen. So don't let clutter come into your kitchen. Things that you will never see in my kitchen are handbags, keys, paperwork, letters, school notes. Nothing like that ever touches the kitchen counter because the kitchen counter is like a magnet for clutter. So don't let it come into your kitchen. Have a designated spot to put all those things that might otherwise end up on the kitchen counter so that they don't make that clutter mess in the first place. The same goes with your fridge front. I like to keep all clutter off my fridge except for one magnet with my daily and weekly cleaning routines up there because I like that visual reminder. It's nothing that I can escape because it's right at my eye level. Every time I open the fridge, it is there as a in-the-face reminder of all of the daily cleaning things that I've got to do, and then as a reminder for everything that I need to do on a day-to-day basis for my zone cleaning. So that is typically the only thing that you'll ever see on the front of my fridge, unless I am filming a meal prep video, and then I'll just have my meal prep up there in the background for the photos. But by and large, keeping your fridge clutter-free and clean, it just helps to give your kitchen as a whole a kind of streamlined, clutter-free look, and it's just much more visually pleasing, aesthetically pleasing, and visually pleasing. A nice, clean, clear fridge. It also makes it really easy to clean it because you just spray and wipe it. If you've got 1,000 things on there, it's not going to be an easy experience to clean it, so you're likely just going to probably put it off. Whereas if there's nothing there, if there's just one thing, it's easy case of just spray, wipe, you're done. You don't even have to think about it. My next tip for you is to keep your cleaning supplies at hand and easily accessible. So do this by getting your most used cleaning supplies. So any of your spray cleaners, your cleaning cloths, keep them where they are really easily accessible. Now, if I am cleaning the kitchen, I'm much more motivated if I've got really nice cleaning supplies. So I would tend to use things like this that really smell nice. Wild Rhubarb and Apple Orchard. These are really nice Method products, so I would recommend getting some really nice smelling cleaning supplies, and that way you are encouraged, or at the very least it's not a horrible cleaning experience when you've got really nice cleaning products that smell nice. Next tip I have for you in keeping your kitchen really clean and organized is to have anything that you keep on your benches all corralled in trays. This makes it really easy to control the amount of clutter, the amount of stuff that you're allowed to have on your kitchen counter, like as decor or as, you know, any interesting decorative pieces. It's all limited to one tray, so you can't just go overboard. You've got a little tray maybe at the end. You could put like a fruit bowl or a fruit basket. You could put some bits and pieces, like I have got a tray at the end of my bench that has a watering can, it's got some hand sanitizer, and it's got a candle. So it's decor, but it's also functional. So I like to call it double duty decor. So it's serving a purpose, but it also looks nice. The next tip that I have for you is a big one, and this tip alone will probably save you a ton of time in cleaning in the kitchen. And this tip is to minimize the amount of mess you make in the kitchen. And I'm like, oh dude, well really? And it might sound like a little bit stupid or a bit of a no-brainer, but if you do try and minimize the mess you make, and there are a couple of ways that you can do it, it will really help you with keeping your kitchen mess and clutter under control. So there are a couple of ways that you can do it. One is of course meal prepping. This is a really easy way for you to control the amount of mess that you're making, because the bulk of the mess that you're making is only on one day of the week. So that's the day that you do your grocery shopping, you bring it in, you meal prep up all of your ingredients at the very least, or your meals on that day, and then you just clean up the bulk of the utensils and all of the things that you need to make your meals at that one time. So it is like a one mess and it's a one cleanup job. So instead of making the mess every single day when you're making dinner, you are reducing the amount of mess that you need to make it, because you've already done all that kind of groundwork at the start of the week. So meal prepping is definitely a way that you can minimize the mess that you make in the first place. Bit of a tongue twister to get that one out. Another really easy way is to designate one drinking cup per person. So I know if you've got kids, you probably are very familiar with like having 15 different cups all spread throughout the house, because they take a cup, they use it once, and then they grab another one from the cupboard to drink their next drink. I purchased these insulated tumblers from a health food store, just a local health food store, and these have been really fabulous. They're really nice quality. I really like them, and I'll leave them linked. So then when we have our water throughout the day, we just have one tumbler, and then you just refill it as you need through the day. And then if it's something else like a juice or a cordial or maybe a soft drink or something, then it's okay to have a glass, because I just don't like the sticky stuff around the seals. I just keep these just for water. They are completely insulated and very easy to clean, so you can use them for hot beverages, coffee and things like that. I just prefer to keep ours just for water, and then anything else can just go in a glass. But this is definitely a really no-brainer, easy way to minimize the mess you are making by just having one designated cup per person per day. Another really easy way to minimize the mess that you make is to consider using your barbecue or grill outdoors to cook. If you've got messy main meals that you would be cooking on your stove or in the kitchen that make mess and that can be cooked outside on the grill or the barbecue, consider doing that instead. It will save you with the cleanup of not only pots and pans, but also of all the grease splatter that comes with cooking things that can make a mess. Now, my next tip for you is when you are going to your grocery shop, before you go grocery shopping, give your fridge a nice clean out. So empty out any of your old produce that didn't make it, empty that all out, give it a nice clean and wipe down, so that when you do go grocery shopping, you're bringing things back into a nice clean fridge. Now, the other tip that I have is to make sure that your dishwasher is run and empty before you go food shopping, so that when you do come home, all of your food prep containers are washed, clean, ready to go. All of your food storage containers that you might have are all washed, clean, ready to be filled back up with your produce. And all of your utensils and bits and pieces that you do food prep with are all washed, clean, and ready to go. It will save you time when you come back from the grocery store, because everything's set up ready to go. So you're less likely to put it off until later, or leave your groceries all out and about on the kitchen counters or out in the kitchen until your food storage containers are all washed and ready to have them. So make sure you have everything washed, dried, and ready to receive that grocery order when it comes into your house. Another tip that I have is something that we've started doing recently, and that is to implement that thing. I've said it in many videos before, and it's called no more than you have room for. Now, previously I was kind of notorious for ordering many varieties of the same thing, and often too much for the space that I had. So in my pantry here and at my old place, it's quite limited, so we don't have like a huge pantry or food storage area, and I was overbuying, I think, too many different varieties. So for example, we would have like 7 different cereals, we'd have 5 different pasta varieties, and we'd have multiple different types of rice. So now instead we have, for cereal for example, I've got 1 big glass container that holds oats, and then I allocate 2 of my pantry storage containers for cereal, and then that's it. So that's all you can have until it's empty and finished, and then you can purchase more. Same thing goes for pasta. Instead of having, you know, bow ties, elbow pasta, spaghetti, fettuccine, and every other kind of pasta known to Italy, so we can only have 2. We have a long and a short. We can either have spaghetti or fettuccine or something like that. We can have 1 kind of short pasta. So shells or spirals or bow ties or elbows or macaroni or rigatoni. We can only have 1 of those at a time. So 1 long, 1 short, and then that is it. So that has reduced the amount of food storage that we require for the pantry. So that just makes the whole experience of putting away your groceries when you come home from the grocery store much quicker and easier. And then that just keeps the kind of clutter of ingredients under control. Next tips are some that I have covered off in my video, which is 10 tips for a clean and tidy house. Now, all those tips are obviously applicable to your kitchen, but the ones I've shared now have just been a little bit more kitchen specific. But certainly the good old saying of clean as you cook or clean as you go is a definite no-brainer when it comes to keeping your kitchen clean, organized, and under control. And that is just as you are making things, keep a kitchen cloth at arm's reach at all times and just clean up as you go. So instead of just making a whole pile of mess, you know, put your rubbish in the bin as you're going, put your things in the dishwasher as you're cleaning them, or just give them a quick wash under the running tap. It is not hard to have that clean as you go mentality. Now, the other thing that I like to think of is treat your home almost like it's a business kind of thing. So what I mean by that is that if you've worked in hospitality, you know that you've got an open shift and you've got a closed shift. So the closed shift, the shift that's on close, which is when the restaurant or the cafe or the venue closes, is responsible for cleaning the premises and getting everything set up so that when the morning shift come in, they've got a clean slate, fresh, clean, organized, ready to go and ready to start that morning shift. Think of your home the same way. So your night shift is your night routine that you do after you've had dinner. You want to make sure that you've got everything cleaned up, packed up, the dishes are done, the counters are clean and wiped down, and the sink is all clean and clear, so that when you've got your morning shift or your morning routine coming down in the morning, they're not starting off on their back foot by having to deal with a messy kitchen. First of all, the mental stress of coming down to a messy kitchen. Don't even go there. There is nothing that will put me in a bad mood quicker than waking up to a dirty kitchen. Now, I know myself well enough, so I do whatever it takes to avoid that happening, and I make sure that every single night I just do a quick kitchen cleanup. Everyone who is in my household, if my boys are home, they know we all help out, we get it done together. It's really quick, you have a chat, you enjoy the process. You just get in and get it done. You don't have excuses, you have the discipline to do it because you know your future self, your future morning self, which I've talked about heaps before on my channel, your future self will thank you for it. So the tomorrow you who comes down the stairs into the kitchen will be like, thank you, last night self. It is definitely a favor that you're doing for your future self by keeping your kitchen clean and getting it cleaned up in the nighttime for that morning routine to be able to be going as seamlessly and flawlessly as you possibly can. Another tip that I have for you is to keep your cleaning appliances close at hand. So I have my Dyson vacuum cleaner right at the end of the kitchen, literally right there. So it is plugged in, it's got its little dock, and it is always there ready to go. So anytime I need it, I just grab it and I quickly vacuum the floors. So it's just a grab and go situation. There's no going to retrieve the vacuum cleaner because the kitchen floor is honestly the most frequently cleaned floor in my house. Honestly, the kitchen is the most frequently cleaned floor in my house. I probably vacuum it twice a day because the vacuum cleaner is right there. And then I will mop it generally once a day, at most every second day. Now, to make it super easy for me to maintain daily mopping, I just keep this Daiso Swiffer in my kitchen with a Daiso microfiber cloth. I think this is just a dusting rag, but it fits on the Swiffer perfectly, so that I can just quickly either add some water to it or add some Method floor cleaner, and then just really quickly clean up any spills as they happen. And then once a week on Mondays, when it's my big kitchen cleaning day, I will either use my steam mop or my spray mop and then do a really detailed clean. But this is brilliant, keeping that kitchen floor consistently cleaned with the least amount of fuss and the least amount of work. And then every time I've used it, I just pull it off and then I just replace one ready for the next time that I need to use it again. Setting yourself up for your future self and putting it in place so that you've got your cleaning supplies ready to go, so that you're not put off with having to think, oh, I've got to go get the mop and then I've got to put the mop head on the mop thing. No, too hard, not doing it. Set it up so it's already done, it's ready to rock and roll, and then your mop will be ready for exactly when you need it, and your kitchen floor will be kept clean and under control. Same goes for the vacuum cleaner. When you are done using it, just empty it out and put it back so that it is ready to go. It is always ready to go and it's ready to use. Another tip that I have for you in the kitchen to keep your kitchen nice, clean and organized, under control, is to, on the day that you do your grocery shopping, remove as much packaging as you can at that point in time. So when you bring all your groceries in, you're unpacking them into the pantry, remove as much of the packaging as possible. This helps with you having to only take the rubbish out, in bulk one time. So all that packaging is gone. So then when you pop it into your containers, you're removing all that packaging and all that rubbish just on that one day. So guys, that about wraps up today's video. I hope you've enjoyed my top habits, hacks, tips and tricks to keep your kitchen clean, clutter-free, nice, clean and tidy and under control. These are really simple habits and cleaning tips that you can implement on a daily basis. Sometimes they're multiple times a day, but whatever it takes, you've got to have that whatever it takes mentality, and not just being like, oh, I don't feel like cleaning today. You need to have that discipline and that whatever it takes mentality, because honestly, if you are having difficulty keeping your house under control in the cleaning department, I would definitely suggest starting in the kitchen. Start with your kitchen sink, move on to your kitchen sink and your kitchen counters, then move on to your kitchen counters, sink and floors, and then your kitchen sink, counters, floors and cabinets. Before you know it, you've just like habit stacked, and building on those tiny habits that you do daily. Once you get one under your belt, you move on to the next one, the next one, the next one, and before you know it, you just do it purely out of habit. Like if you've watched any of my meal prep videos, you are gonna see every 2 seconds I'm just like wiping down, cleaning up, cleaning as I go. And then at the end of my meal prep day on Mondays, it's the day that I have nominated for my kitchen deep clean, because I know that I'm gonna be making the most mess on Mondays. Holy moly, I'm going at it with these alliterations today. The most mess on Mondays. So once that is done, I then do my main Monday cleaning routine, which is cleaning the kitchen. So I will do a detailed kitchen of the stove. I'll wipe out the oven. I will do a really nice clean of the floor and all the skirting boards. I'll wipe down all the cabinet fronts. That's the day that I do a detailed clean of my kitchen. Of course, beyond that, you're making a mess every day in your kitchen. So you need to clean every day in your kitchen multiple times a day. Every time you make a mess, that's when you need to clean it. You need to do it straight away, and you need to develop that discipline to clean up messes as you make them, and not just be one of those persons that like, I'll just put it off till later, not even going to think about it. And before you know it, your kitchen is a mess. It's in a complete disaster that you don't feel like cleaning, and then it just makes you feel worse and worse and worse and worse. I hope you enjoyed this video. So if you did enjoy this video, be sure to give it a thumbs up. It is really great feedback for me and it helps my channel out a ton. If you haven't already, be sure to subscribe. If you are new to this channel, I'll leave the videos that I mentioned linked in the description below. Have a fabulous weekend. As always, I will see you in my next video. Bye everyone. So you guys have seen on my kitchen sink many times if you've watched any of my previous videos. So this is where I like to keep all of my daily cleaning supplies. So they are literally at arm's reach. Everything that I need to clean is located either right where I grab for it. I can just open it, grab for it one-handed. And then any of my backup sort of stuff is towards the back in those rollout containers. But whatever I need, it is all very easily accessible, and I like to keep it neat, clean and tidy so that I am actually inspired, or at least not put off or not completely turned off cleaning. It's definitely much more motivating to clean if you've got all your supplies in an organized, easily accessible state. Same goes with cleaning cloths. Oh, most of mine are in the wash at the moment, but all of the cleaning cloths that we use, and these are the little microfiber mop pads. So these actually start off their life as my makeup remover towels. So I use these just with water to remove makeup. And then once they have passed their their good stage for that, you know, after I've used them for a few months, they then get relegated to mopping the floor status. So you can see they're like all stained up and stuff, but I don't mind, they're still perfectly good for cleaning the floors. And then there's things like mop heads and little scrubbies and kitchen towels. So it's all neatly organized, so it is going to make me feel much more motivated to actually clean the kitchen. So as you can see in the fridge, we are due for a click and collect delivery tomorrow. So the fridge has been completely cleaned out. And everything is all nice, neat and clean, ready to receive that grocery order. There's no produce rotting away in the bottom of the crisper bins. It doesn't look like a biohazard. It is all nice, clean and ready.
I'll walk through the fire, the sun.